And it appears to be good.
Alright.
Alright. I am in horrible pain, by the by. I just figured you should know.
Oh
I just ended up getting my final crown put in, and I have... How many are there? I'm going to start taking copious amounts of kratom to numb the pain. So let's get the
no! Oh
first...
dear lord.
Oh yes, sir. This is another...
You are going to be so out of it.
1 second. Let me get the first 2 down. Oh, perfect. It's been a whole hour. So I wasn't supposed to take anything until like an hour passed because of the cement on the tooth. Here, let me take 2 more really quick.
No problem.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't approve of that artist, but we'll get to that in a minute.
After you're all nice and drugged up, huh?
Oh yeah, I hope so.
Hey,
it
Midnight
doesn't numb
said
the
he's
pain
down.
so, yeah, it doesn't numb the pain so much as I just won't give a shit. So.
Yeah, Midnight says he's down if you want to throw him in here.
All right, sure, I'll grab him. Brother,
We get a proper British guy in here, eh?
Indeed, solid. Let's see. I hope the thing is going. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it looks like it is. I've got it pulled up on my end.
Okay, yeah, it's good. Copy the link. I'll throw this up on Twitter. Drama,
Hey.
debate, no idea.
It isn't the infamous Midnight Chimes.
Midnight.
Give me a second. I'm gonna get onto the PC here. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
So, of all the wonderful artists that you could go to... Oh, speaking of which, I finally got my artwork from Mimkage, and it is beautiful.
It is, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually rather quite proud of it, and I'm like, oh, see, this is why I'm at least willing to plug Mimkage as an artist. But why are you going to Mr. Collar, out of curiosity?
I was just... Honestly, I just saw that he had his commissions up, so I had just asked for one, and that was the only time that I was ever going to ask. So...
How much did it run you?
He actually said it was going to be costing me around $40. That's the most I've ever spent on the commission, and and I only went to him just to ask for the commission. I didn't ask him for anything else.
Oh,
I did not ask...
Imagined. I was about to say the one I got off of Mimi was like only 30, and I got like full detail on that bitch. Jesus.
Yeah.
If I could find it, I was going to plug it. Here, let me blank screen just so I don't wind up... I don't know what the hell's in this folder all the way top to bottom. Okay, that was a maybe no-no. Nothing that would get me kicked off of YouTube, but just to make sure. What the hell is that? Yeah, we're not professional here, not in the least. No, not that. Well, anyways, we're killing time for waiting for fucking Leo to come back.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Oh, there it is. So I will just throw this in the Gyazoid and throw it in the Skype. There we go. And set back to scene. Copy. Ugh, I hate it when it does this shit.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Gyazo is such a pain in my ass. Now, granted, she might have buttered me up by making it extra good because of all the fallout, but that's all the more reason why people should buy off of Mimkage right now. I'm using Lilac for my latest Town Not to Brony. I can't show it just yet because I want that to be a surprise.
Oh, damn.
Indeed. You know what?
All right, can you hear me?
Indeed. Let me take 2 more.
Yes, we can.
I feel so much better. That probably the placebo, since it takes 30 to 40 minutes for these to kick in. Hop. So, Mr. Convoy, to my understanding that you were just simply trying to correct Massacre Molly because you didn't feel that she had a legit reason to shoot down Mintheart in a discussion. I felt like I was reading off a script there.
I mean, you might be, man. Who knows?
I actually believe... Yeah, no, I'm... Not right now. Fuck, I just got back from the dentist.
Oh.
Yeah, no. They're like, oh, no, we don't need to numb you up. You can just rip this right off. I'm like, you sure? Okay. Ow. Okay, now we're going to polish it up. I'm like, no, that hurt like hell. I've never been so happy to see a fucking needle in my life.
No, my comment was more of, okay, but do you have any actual argument to make here, or are you incapable of that? And in response, Molly came at me with a bunch of heat out of nowhere, and, if I'm anybody's goon, it's probably my wife's, not Vita's.
Okay. So, if Massacre Molly were to pick a fight with your wife, okay, I'm just kidding. What?
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, I'm just screwing around.
Well, I hope not. My wife has a gun. I'd hope not.
Indeed. Well, let's keep this kosher. So, anyways, this sounds like a giant mishap or like a massacre. Would you like to, I don't know, double down or apologize or what? I can't tell you which way to go.
No. So my comment towards Mintheart was just me basically bitching out to her that I've had issues with her in the past for the longest time. Like, she has actually gone after me various occasions of such enlightening and wonderful reasons for saying that I shouldn't boss her around and I shouldn't sit her down because in her words, I'm a grown ass woman and I don't need no grown up telling me what to do. So do yourself a favor.
I gave up.
KYS.
I gave up.
So we do have some common ground here. Mintheart's done the same thing to me.
Okay.
And my general reaction to her is to laugh at her, tell her she'll grow out of it, and go about my business. My intention was not to try to defend Mintheart. My point is, if you're going to come at Mintheart for her statement, you might want to have something of substance and not just, randomly insulting her out of freaking nowhere. I don't think that's going to get anything done in this case. Now, if you wanted to just do it in the middle of a conversation and she said something dumb, by all means, but I think that you should have been a little bit more tactful in attacking what Mintheart was saying as opposed to who Mintheart is. And again, full disclaimer here, not a fan of Mintheart. I think she's a dumb teenager.
Dumb doesn't even begin to describe her in any sense. If I'm going to be bluntly honest.
That's fine. I mean, feel free to be as visceral as you feel the need to be.
I suppose you're right. I should have been a little bit more tactful. I think just in that moment that I was responding, I kind of responded out of annoyance, anger, and just one of those occasions where I honestly thought she had gone off the internet after everything that happened.
You're thinking local.
So...
Oh no! When the whole foul thing hit, because that's who this all centered around. If I'm not mistaken, I tried to sit her down. I was like, all right, you're a teenager. You're going to make dumb mistakes, and it's okay to be dumb sometimes. She immediately told me to piss off. I'm like, all right, fine. Reap what you sow, dumbo.
Yeah, that was basically what I was trying to do as well. I was trying to tell her that what she's doing isn't cool. She's a dumb teenager. She needs to actually grow up and actually learn from her actions that this isn't the right thing, and she told me to kill myself, and I'm just like, okay, fine, you're just basically a huge giant shithole that I can just put down the toilet and just not worry about till next time.
All right, and that's fine. I understand that. Again, not a fan of Mintheart, but in this case, what it came from an outsider looking in on this is Mintheart said something that wasn't beyond the pale. Wasn't something directly attacking somebody, and out of nowhere you're breathing fire at Mintheart that doesn't even have anything to do with what Mintheart's saying. So I see this completely out of context, and I'm like, do you actually have anything to say here, or is it just random insults? And that's when you came at me, and I honestly don't even recall ever even talking to you once.
I don't recall that either, but if I'm going to be bluntly honest, I didn't really like I don't really like some of the stuff that either you've said in the past or other things that you've said in the past, whether it was towards Anthony, whether it was toward...
I don't know. I don't remember.
Or to anybody else.
Yeah, the most heat I've ever had with Lio Convoy, which he's apologized for, was that one call that I never got to publish because there was a lot of shit static and it was creepy. But other than that, no. I'll admit I'm still bitter and petty for bringing that shit up. But
Yeah, but at least it's funny, bitter and petty.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And if we've gone on to all be cool afterwards. I didn't know I had any heat with freaking Lio Convoy. God damn.
No, there's nothing I've said about you anywhere else that I haven't said to your face, Anthony.
That works out fine to me.
I've got absolutely nothing to hide, but what you came at me with, Molly, is some very specific claims about my character and about the type of people I hang around, but I think you're kind of missing the point that I hang around a lot of random people. That's why I said I dick around with Vita just as much as I dick around with FNGR, so am I Anthony's minion?
That was mostly why I kept, like, poking at you and just giving out the random insults, because I had heard that you had mostly hung around with Vita, and you just followed around what he and Jace did, and was just and that's why I said in the comment, I basically came after you saying, like, I love how you're sticking up for him, and he's not even doing anything. Really shows who his true bitch is in this relationship.
Well, first and foremost, if anything is wrong, and here's the thing, I'm not a fan of Lily either, but Douglas's video about Lily was 12 different types of stupid as well. I couldn't even get through half of his video on a certain somebody else, but it doesn't matter if Douglas had done a video on Anthony and it said just as much ignorance, done just as much ignorant, stupid crap, I would be tearing into Douglas about what he said about Anthony too. It's not a matter of who I am unquestionably, quotation marks, loyal to, or whose alleged dog I am. It's the fact that if you say something dumb, you're going to get called out for it. And I would expect if I say something dumb, I would hope somebody would have the decency to do it to me. Do I follow what Jace and Shelley do? Sometimes. It all depends on how bored I am that night. Am I an active partaker? It varies from minute to minute. Same way it varies from minute to minute with Anthony. Sometimes we'll just be chatting, and sometimes it's like, hey, what you doing right now? And that's the way it goes anywhere else I go, too. I follow Midnight Chimes as well on social media. I follow him on YouTube, just like I watch How Not to Brony.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to be judged by which group I hang around, which group am I going to be judged by?
I guess you could put it from that perspective, yeah.
Well,
so if you're going to come at me with something, at least pick the right target here.
I think mostly I was just pissed off because from what I had heard multiple times is that anytime Vita tries to make a claim of something, he either has Jace going after people in the comment section, or he has you going after him in the comment section, and
madam, I'm going to have to stick up for Sheldon right now. He's going to be so offended. He's like, "What the fuck, man? I should be in there before Leo. What the fuck?" But
right?
Yeah.
No, it's, first of all, I'd have to ask who you're hearing that from. Secondly, it all comes down mostly to how the information is spread. I'm in the heck, 30-something Brony servers, and whenever one pops up in Vita's chat, he's like, hey, somebody did this, we're commenting this, I'll peek in. And if it's worth my time commenting, or if it's worth my time needling some moron, I will. If it's not, I don't. And there have been plenty of times I passed on things on other groups as well. I think the reason why I'm getting shackled together with Vita and crew is probably because of how I talk to people and how I debate.
I'm actually amazed that for the longest time that even though I was cool with Vita, I didn't get shackled with him too damn much. I'm still surprised. Well, Molly did it just now, where she's like, is Jace going to be there? And I was like, Vita and Jace. I'm going to bring Vita and Jace. Oh, yeah, let me just snap my fingers. I'll make that happen. Absolutely.
Because Vita and Jace would have caused a bunch of shit to go down.
No,
that would require Vita to actually be around long enough to do something.
No, he doesn't like streaming.
Well, and he's also extremely lazy.
But don't you know, he's going to become a police officer. I'm sure they'll work to his special schedule.
Hey, I met some lazy cops, man. I've met some lazy cops.
I don't know. But that's a video for another time.
I'm gonna say the same thing here that I said to Midnight earlier. All right, at least Vita is wanting to do something with himself, and he should be pushed towards that because he's trying to do something. It's better than sitting around on the internet all day long.
No, I understand that, and that's fine. So, what debate were we going to do at midnight now, since we got this going?
No, you just asked if you wanted to join in.
Oh,
so
okay.
I asked him, and he just joined in. I think because he's probably bored too. It's probably like dark and rainy in London.
I don't know what I'm here before. What were you saying about people who just sit around and go on the internet all day?
I don't know, man. I think there are other people. They're clearly not us.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah,
Molly,
streams of people that just play MMOs, video editing and stuff. Something that I would do.
Now, my question, Molly, is do you still stand by everything you said, or would you like to actually get to know what's going on here and understand the different people and dynamics therein?
Okay, in that moment, I had responded out of anger, so I will completely apologize. I do want, like, some info and some insight as to what exactly what the fuck is going on and why, like, it seems like either you or Jace or everybody else is conjoined to Vita at the hip when it comes to going after people that try to call him out on his shit.
Sheep.
Okay.
Anyways, it's the term. Yeah, just fucking say for what it is. There's not a lot of chiefs running shit, and there's not a lot of people in the communities who are getting together and, hey, we're gonna go tackle something.
Okay.
And
I have no problem answering any of those, and furthermore, I apologize for lashing out at you. I own that. Now, going back to the things you were saying, part of it comes down to if you're going to attack someone, specifically if you're going to attack them based on moral character or actions, it pays well to get information right. And this is something Anthony took me to task about when I started making videos commenting on the Brony community. He'd tell me I only had half the facts or anything else, and they were both. And the comments he made were insightful, and they were good comments to make, because this allowed me to course correct and look deeper into things before immediately jumping down something's throat, which is actually my first impulse on just about anything.
I'm glad.
And the problem with go ahead.
I was about to say I'm glad that you veered away from our dear, beloved, time-honored friend Jack Nolan, which we'll be getting to eventually, probably a video from now.
But more importantly, when it comes to calling somebody out, it's important to have all your information correct. And if you'll notice, the things that Jace and Sheldon and Vita and occasionally me are going on about, most of Douglas's stuff is either taken from an out-of-context point of view or the information is false. And the unfortunate thing is, based on Douglas's actions, is the people who have been posting evidence of, and this could, of course, be YouTube. I don't know how the algorithms work. The people who are posting information to correct some of the things he said, those posts keep getting deleted. So, like, for example, he said that Vita never acknowledged via YouTube that Lightning Bliss has altered her course in terms of her art, but in his very next video, he actually did. And that is played at the very beginning. And personally, I think that Lightning Bliss did a fantastic job of owning up to what happened and correcting that. And I think it's going to make her a better artist. That's what I hang around these type of circles.
But there have been in subsequent videos where I've seen, like, he'll throw like the habitual aftershock in there, and it sounds like kind of like what Jerry did, where he's like in like the follow-up video. Sorry, little trouble talking.
I mean, you're in this call too.
Yeah, no, it was one of those ones where, like I said with Jerry's thing, where he wound up saying, this is someone who won't make mistakes again. But the moment there's a shot to take, that Lightning Bliss seems to come up in a lot of these videos.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't have any creative control over what
I
Vita
got
puts
that
in
too. That's one of those things where, like, look, if you really think that someone's grown as that, then why are you still using him as a punching bag?
I do. I'm speaking for my viewpoint,
okay.
And I'm telling you what's going on with Vita's. The reason why you see somebody talk about Vita and this swarm of people shows up is because what happens is somebody says something and people just show up to make fun of that person. That's all. And unfortunately, here's the thing: never attribute to malice what can be explained in other manners, whether it be stupidity or otherwise. Most of the time, Jace, Sheldon are literally just there to laugh at somebody. They're not there to board the Vita, worship him train. Heck, if you ever were a fly on the wall in most of our Discord calls, 90% of it is making fun of Vita. That's just the honest truth about that. I do it, Jace does it, Sheldon does it. So it's less of we must defend the queen bee and more of this guy said something dumb, let's make fun of him. Now, granted, I'm not usually the one that's the main center point there. That's usually Sheldon or Jace. I'm the guy who comes in afterwards to see what type of nonsense has been wrecked on the entire community. And that's when I start picking things apart. The reason why I have such an issue with Douglas is because when you have a name or a series called The Young Hero Rants, a hero is supposed to be someone who's valiant and courageous, and Douglas isn't. In my opinion, I think he's a coward. He won't talk to anybody, whether it be me, whether it be Shelley or Jace, which, you could at least say, well, maybe he doesn't want to talk to them because they're mean. But okay,
he did talk to them. He did originally go into Top of the Barrel.
He talked to Shelley and he talked to Vita, and I was in that call, but it bored me to tears because all it went down, and unfortunately they lost the recording for whatever reason. It all went down to, I think, if anything, I think it was actually Shelley who lost it, but it doesn't matter because it was really boring. All it was I don't agree. Well, why don't you agree? I just don't agree. It didn't get anywhere.
Okay.
So it was just, I was bored out of my mind, and very rarely am I bored on things like that. So I have an issue with Douglas not being forthright in what he's saying. I have an issue with him not researching very well. This Vita video allegedly took him a month, and this is the best he could do. My dude, do better. You have the resources. Do better.
I hadn't gotten a chance because I had 2 days of work in a row and stuff went down, which I don't really want to talk about. Where other people.
I assumed it.
No, don't mention
videos.
Yeah, no, I didn't get an opportunity to watch it, and there were things that were said behind closed doors, and I was like, okay, I got nothing to do with that myself, and and when I got up today, I basically focused on the dentist, which I'm still. Yeah, don't treat tooth pain with fucking goddamn. What the fuck did I just take? Kratom. I might need an IV.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Well, Anthony, if you want something to lull you to sleep, he's got a 46-minute video out there for you.
You know what? You think an ibuprofen will be better or a Tylenol? What do you suggest?
I was going to say,
are you trying
some sort of like Oxycontin, maybe?
No, something legal, please. I've already. Well, actually, the other thing.
Are you trying to numb pain, or are you trying to prove that you're tough?
Numb pain.
Okay, because if he's trying to prove that you're tough, you just hit your dick with a hammer.
No. Fantastic.
Now, is there anything else I need to answer for you, Molly? Anything else I need to discuss with you to get that out of the way?
Tio, I did go to the dentist. That's why I'm in pain.
Let me see if I can go back to the video, see if there's anything from the comment chain that kind of sparked out at me in some sort of anger.
Well, you did accuse me of, let's see here.
What was with that whole thing of saying, like, oh, if you're not intimidated to me, come chat?
Because what we've been doing recently is we want to hear from people that are detractors or people who disagree. So come chat. Like, literally click on the link, come into the Discord, and we'll literally have a discussion about it.
Yeah, like, it's just the way that you phrased it just seemed to me like, okay, you're clearly about to start some shit. I don't trust this word and shit. That's why I said nothing. That's why I said nothing after that, because I basically was under the impression of like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, this ain't gonna work out.
Leo's pretty
I'm just gonna slide this under the table.
You should be surprised at some of the shit I've shown to Leo that I can't share right now. I could turn this stream off and put up a real interesting call right now.
Oh dear.
Now, let me be very clear here with you, Molly. And I have absolutely no reason to lie to you. Okay? If you have any issue with anything I do, anything I say, anything I'm involved in, all you have to do is message me and ask. I'm very open.
Yeah, Leo came to me and he's like,
"That isn't or intention to lie to you."
Yeah, Leo came to me and he said, "How attached are you to Molly?" I was like, "I owe Molly a solid for fucking up a lifetime ago." And he was like, "All right, well, then go talk to her." And I was like, "I'll see what I can do." Now I'm glad you got back to me before this turned into a giant shit show that it didn't need to be.
Yeah, because then I was having to. Yeah, because I figured like this was probably going to be a shit show. Some part of this was probably going to get leaked out, and then I was going to get called a pussy for not like.
I'm really confused why people keep assuming that Lio Convoy is like Razor Ramon, that he's the bad guy or some shit like this, and I was like, I don't know. Where
No. That somehow this was going to get leaked to Vita, and Vita was going to post this up on his Twitter, saying like, "Oh, look at that! Look who's the real dank ass pussy." Then. Like can't handle a call with 3 grown gentlemen, quote unquote.
Well, I think that's the difference between my tenacity and maybe yours, because I would jump into that call and I'd wreck all 3 of them. I bring the rage.
It's true.
And I think I've proven that.
Well, you know what, Leo? If that's the case, there's a certain guy in the anime community who's taking on all challengers. You should make that video, because I know I'm going to eventually. Now, your points will probably be different from mine, but that is something to get into.
Again, with Digi, since that's who you're referring to, and yes. I don't mind saying so. Again, I have to get all the information correct. Do not show my hand. And then come at it from my own angle. But I have a lot on my table beforehand. Stuff regular for the channel, different bronies that I need to take to task on different things. And here's the thing, Molly. My intention here, and believe it or not, I thoroughly believe it's Vita's as well. Vita wants your community to improve based on the calls and talk chats I've had with him. Again, Anthony's back there, and I know he's got his finger raised and his mouth open about to say something. But based on my information...
No, I'm chill and mellow right now.
Yeah. Based on the information I have and the calls I've had with Vita wants your community to do better. I want your community to do better. The difference between Vita and I is if your community doesn't do better, I'd like to burn it to the ground.
I was about to say I assumed that was Vita's standpoint.
That's my standpoint.
Either it lives up.
Anybody.
No, and here's my detraction to that. In Vita's standpoint, it either lives up to my expectation or I'll burn it down. Which that's if I ever do make a video on Vita and the police thing, this is what's going to happen. Let's say magically he gets through all the hoops and barrels. What will inevitably happen is that when he runs into authority, like he usually does, he'll get frustrated. He might stay quiet enough. Kiwi Farms will fill up with a bunch of information from North Carolina, which he'll eventually get nicked for.
I assume maybe he'd go to BronyCon and try to arrest the convention.
There's another...
I honestly thought that too.
Well, there's another thing I've been told. Because of some information I got from Creepy, that police, you have to be in the right department, but you can actually get you can go to YouTube and get a channel taken down. And I was like, that's probably fucking Vita's big master plan, but I can't see Vita getting along with the right people to pull that off.
Here, let me explain to you something that is very key and crucial. I want you all to listen very close. Never assume Vita dick up 9 times out of 10. He's got a master plan. No, he's just literally sitting there with a keyboard like, who can I piss off today? It's not the same thing as having a plan, guys. We got it.
To be fair, most of what Vita does, most of his master plans are just him shooting out of his ass if he has one.
Well, here's the thing. We got Thunderspark into our chat 2 weeks ago. And this is a dude I've been going back and forth for a while now. And he comes in, he's like, I know you guys a strategy of conversation. I'm like, what makes you think we have a strategy here? There's no strategy here. We're just talking. He came in with this mad mentality that there's some master plan and manipulation here when we're not doing any of that.
Sometimes it is just straightforward. It's like when I was talking with Shelton about Digi, we were more or less on the same damn page. Sometimes it is just common sense.
Yeah. So, again, any issues you have with my action, now keep in mind, I don't control Shelly. I don't control Vita. I don't control Jace. I might make fun of them at any given moment, but I can't control them, and I won't. That's not my job. My job is...
You glitched.
You cut out there.
Yeah, I didn't hear
you. You glitched. Anyways.
Well, no, but yeah, I'm just saying, Leo, it didn't pick up for the stream, I'm assuming, so you might want to repeat that.
Anyways, I can't control Jace.
Okay.
I can't control Jelly. I can't. I'm only responsible and capable of controlling myself. And I have other people that help me out if they think I'm going too far. They can keep me in check. Or they can tell me, I wouldn't do that. Here's why. If you have an issue with what I'm doing, saying, or anything like that,
You're cut.
Tirade.
You're cutting in and out badly.
Yeah, we didn't get a lick of that.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay, TLDR, talk to me sensibly, and we can go somewhere.
Solid.
We tried to talk to you, but you keep cutting out.
No, we got him this time. I was about to say, you know what's funny about that? You seem like a more direct and more offensive Brawny Buck at the same damn time. It's kind of weird.
That is scary and sad at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't think
I'm going to tell you about
I've been in calls with Brawny Buck. He puts me to sleep.
I'm going to tell you about the moral of today's episode.
No,
Yep.
I do have. It's
Well,
funny.
all of his videos put me to sleep.
I do feel bad that
we
we had a giant hour-long fucking call with him where he was sitting there saying that we should ditch Toon Critic. In retrospect, that didn't age very well. Where we were arguing pro Toon. I was like, yeah, we could always go back to that and be like, maybe.
I remember that.
Yeah. And I think Sheldon was like going, you ought to just let it go. Maybe he shouldn't have. maybe he should have stuck to his guns.
So,
Hindsight is 2020
Molly.
and all that.
is there any other question, comments, anything you've been wondering about, anything you want to take me to task about? You've got the open floor.
Indeed. What do you got?
Actually,
Novocaine?
I do have. This is just something I've been like insanely curious. Like, why is it that like you sometimes put up with, you make fun of Vita and Jace, even if you don't agree with what they're doing, what they're saying. Why do you just like take the shit out of them? Is it just for shits and giggles, or?
It's because Vita's Discord, and I explained this to Chimes. It's a very barbarian culture there, and the way that we deal with that is we make fun of each other. So I'll call Shelly an onion broken human being because he got an injury from lifting onions, and he'll counter that by calling me a dumb old man that collides. And then Vita will come in and tell me to kill myself, and I'll tell him, no, come kill me yourself, you coward. And then Jace comes in and says something, and we make fun of him for having a funny accent.
Indeed.
That's why.
Indeed.
I mean, who doesn't make fun of Jace's accent at this point?
Is he even Russian?
So I gotta ask,
Yes.
Midnight, now that you've been ripped off because of InfoWars went down, are you gonna make a comeback? Imagine my surprise. Anyway, sorry. I'd like to give a moment of silence for InfoWars. The meme is dead. They didn't back that shit up on any other channel, did they? That's all gone now, isn't it?
I don't believe that they did.
Because I went to
Alex.
I was like, let's see if they have a website. Oh, but it links all to YouTube, and I was like, oh boy, that's unfortunate.
Please, Alex Jones will live forever in memory.
Indeed.
But no, that's why I take the piss out of them. They take the piss out of me, because if you're going to have barbarian culture, what's the point in doing it if you don't take the piss out of each other?
Yeah.
I mean, Molly, you don't pick on your friends sometimes in good humor?
Well, let's see. How long have you got?
Well, I mean, it's just a yes or no question.
Yes, I take the shit. Yes, I take the piss out of my friends. That's how I show my affection.
Well, it's no different in beta server, even though I wonder if it's affection or just iron sharpening iron. At that point.
Nope, editor says that you pick on
Now,
him.
I will ask, well, I mean, I pick on everybody in your server. And except for that one guy that I ran out, that was less of picking on and more biting into.
Which one was that?
God, I can't remember his name. Probably
was
because
it?
I didn't care.
Oh!
No,
Was it the dude
He
with
is
the
never in
receding
your server.
hairline?
I don't think
The
I've
musician?
ever seen an image of him. No,
Never mind.
no, it was somebody else who, when I asked if he was going to show that he had testicles, he said he didn't have any, and then he ran off.
Oh, I think I don't know. It's been a while since we went through people. We haven't run off anybody in a while.
Nah, I think it's about time for another one, don't you?
Sure. We'll have to find somebody to alienate.
My question was, who told you that I was one of Vita's dogs out there ready to tear into people?
Well, to be honest, some of that information, granted, I don't think it was full. Granted, I don't think it was like full information. I had gotten that from watching, just from bits and clips of like, How Not to Brony, and also from like from Doug's videos. But then again, while I do feel that Doug gets the point across with some of them, I feel like most of it is just like half of the info and only filling in with half a story and just filling in the blanks with whatever suits everybody else's narratives. I think that's where I got the information that, from what I had heard, you were one of Vita's cronies.
Man, I'm not even second in command. Now I'm just insulted.
What? Okay, so I'm assuming it's Jace and then Sheldon. Because everybody ships Jace and Sheldon, so I would just put Sheldon at 3.
There is no chain of command there. Matter of fact, there's something I give Vita a lot of grief of when there is an issue in the server. I'm like, it's your server, you can do what you want. Yes, but I prefer to work under democracy. I'm like, yes, but I work under a dictatorship.
There we go. I heard it.
And you all do what I'm told.
Don't you understand that Vita's fucking goddamn used to have this little thing called Yes We Can in his Vita logo?
I was not even aware of that.
Okay, so basically in the first rift, the person who fucking started the Vita army, just by accident, was Robin0928. He just started chanting...
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, I told him about this. It was by accident, where he was just kind of memeing it up, and he's like, yes, we can! Then he got people in the call chanting it, and then that's when Past Analysis ran back to them. They're revolting! They're gonna take the room!
They're revolting! Is Tuesday already?
I was sitting there thinking to myself, I don't regret any of this. I can't wait. I was like, the question is, it wasn't a matter of when they were going to throw Vita out. It was a question when they were going to throw me out for putting him in, or like trying to weasel him in.
Did they, though?
No, oddly enough, never. I even confronted the mods, matter of factly. I'm like, how do you guys keep putting up with me? Because you kind of know where the line is. It's like, yeah, I kind of do, but I assumed that the only mod who like cheated and threw me out was Sweetie Bloom, where she's like, I know what you're up to, and we're just gonna ban you for like 2 weeks now. But that's not how this works. You're cheating. That's bullshit. God.
I love that you chose that as a thumbnail for this video.
What, Kirk Eichenwald? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Fucking.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I'm just like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Of course you would find something to use as the thumbnail.
Brother Kurt is a magical human being. I've only got about another month before it gets
Apparently you are shipped with Miss Anthropony's OC, Anthony. How do you feel about that?
I could do it.
What the fuck?
Could have been AJ.
Why?
Oh god, no. I think the peasants.
It could have been Steppius. I might have been the one kind of retarded.
Oh my god!
Lord Ben Manza. He says he has a question. Do I see myself as a YouTuber like grade A and like this? And I do not animate using MS Paint. Matter of fact, I don't animate at all. All right.
If you guys are looking for something like grade A under A, you guys should check out. I'm trying to remember the goddamn name of the series now. Samala something. Fuck, it's like a History Channel meets grade A under A.
Yeah, you're referring to Salmonella Academy.
Oh, Salmonella Academy is so good, guys. If you ever you can blow through that in a day. It is just, it's so fast and so fucking funny, and it's just so low rent. And sometimes, if you're not careful, you might even learn something.
And let's see, Otaku Dragon is trying to remind me. It's trying to get you to remind me that I jumped on the FNGR as a pedo bandwagon without real proof. Did I ever accuse you of that, FNGR?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so. Now, when Vita's video dropped,
for some reason I got called out for like being a pedo enabler. No, pedo sympathizer for both Anthony and Toon. When I haven't had contact with him in months.
Well,
Anthony, with everybody else
I've
claiming
never-
that Anthony's
I've never
a pedophile,
accused-
they don't have any evidence for that.
Well, number one, I never accused Anthony of that, because if I did, I wouldn't be in a call with him right now. And secondly, the time Vita's video broke and Anthony went live about something else, like, everybody hopped in the chat and, like, claimed, it's XYZ, open up. And mine was, I think, Border Patrol, because we're both Hispanic and we can laugh at that. Like, that didn't matter. That was just a joke for joke's sake. I never accused Anthony of being a pedophile. However,
Is that just like something in the Hispanic culture that like the Hispanics just laugh at what
I think it's funny.
at like issues that only they would understand and
Well,
no one else does.
it's funny like this, because remember the first time that fucking Sheldon tried to come to BabsCon, he got stopped at the border, and I was like, see, he'd have been Latino, that wouldn't have been a problem.
Wow.
Either time.
let's see, Otaku
Terrible.
Dragon Kid Douglas's video. Okay, go look at them.
Yeah.
You know what you're gonna find? Mostly me making fun of other people or asking people questions. Amazing. I think that anybody by the name of Otaku Dragon can't be trusted, because anybody with the name Otaku in their name can't be trusted, because otakus are terrible.
I looked at most of the comments
I had to
that showed
ask
up there, and I'm just like,
without giving the guy's name. I was speaking to the Cowardly Lion recently, if anyone's ever seen The Greatest Story Ever Told, and I was like, do you think it's because otakus, or the anime culture is just that much more well behaved that they haven't found pedophiles over there, or they know how to shut up? And his excuse was, bronies are just more accepting. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? That, it's the over-inclusiveness that we find that in bronies are just... I think it's because otakus just know how to shut the fuck up. Except for
Christian, I would never, ever accuse all otaku of being evil. I would, however, accuse them of not knowing what the word means and the connotation behind it. Sorry, I like addressing the chat because they amuse me.
Oh, yeah. No, go ahead.
oh no, I can get you too. I've done that with chats multiple times.
Oh, yeah. Did you have any thoughts on that, Leo?
About addressing the chat? I mean, I just did it.
Oh, no.
I think
I don't know.
ponder upon it more.
I'll ask it again. Do you feel that fucking goddamn that there isn't, like, people getting outed in the anime community just because it's just that more well-behaved? Do you feel that it's because bronies are just more accepting, that it breeds to, I don't know, a more welcoming environment to, like, the toon critics of the world? Or do you just think that, the otakus know how to shut up about their own whatever?
I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Animes, nerds, weeaboos, otaku, they tend to make excuses for their monsters, because most of them don't actually cross over from fiction into reality that most people are aware of. I guess that also requires the otaku to leave their rooms, and that's not going to happen. But as far as the bronies go, I think it happens more often in the brony community that the cross between fiction and reality happens. Because let's face it, my life centered around children, and pretty good hunting grounds for those type of people, if you catch my meaning.
Well, I mean, even with that, there's still like, creators like Miyazaki and stuff that could probably... Not that I'm not talking shit about Miyazaki. I'm sure it's a great, from what the movies I've seen, but there's still plenty of childlike things that you could find in anime that would potentially, be a good, a cultivative environment for that sort of thing. If you're
the director you're looking for is Hideaki Anno, not Miyazaki, and yes, it absolutely is. Are you familiar with Evangelion?
Yeah,
I believe I've seen a little bit of it.
I mean,
Have you ever seen the original movie?
No, I have not. I am not that cultured.
You please never watch that movie. Then it opens up with Shinji basically jacking off into his hand.
That's horrifying.
Because he saw Asuka's exposed breast. Now keep in mind, these are both children, and the latter thing I mentioned about Asuka's breasts is shown on screen. So yeah, I think you could probably, like, in my opinion, I think Hideaki Anno should be put behind bars, but apparently the anime community doesn't agree. I have strong opinions about cartoons.
Okay, then.
Well, here, let me ask you another question on that. Do you feel Stephen King should be behind bars?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, to some degree, yes, you should.
If nothing else, because he keeps writing terrible books at this point.
It's weird that that's the safe answer.
That is a seriously safe answer.
Jesus Christ. Well, I was more referring to the questionable scene from Stephen King's
In the yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wouldn't be horrified if that whole thing became illegal or something like that. But people always like cite weird shit like, you know, Romeo and Juliet because the characters being younger or something like that. I was like, well, put a precedent or something like that. If it's over 200, 300 years old or some shit like that, you could just keep it in there for historical reasons. It keeps the new shit from coming out. It keeps the further degradation of, you know, society's morals. I hate to sound like a pearl clutcher here, but, you know, I'm a little concerned, you know, about certain things slipping its way into the popular culture, you know?
Yeah, trust me, I feel the same way on those matters.
I'd like to quote the anime snob. He's like, there's reasons why I feel that anime shouldn't be in the mainstream. And I'm like, I like that response.
I mean, to be fair.
Yeah.
And you see most of the stuff in anime now? Jesus Christ.
Half
of that stuff should be in, like, a pedo report.
It's always been weird shit, but it's always been, like, one of those things where, like, oh, you know, Japan. No!
We're not saying that about the Japanese.
All right, so anybody in the chat have anything else smart aleck to say, questions to ask? Lord Ben Monza, you will absolutely accept Bible Man. Bible Man is the best anime character. See, they brought up Devil Man, so I brought up Bible Man.
Yeah. I saw the old classic ADV or OAV for fucking Devil Man. Actually, I think I was right both ways.
That was some of Gurren Lagaan's work.
Yep.
That I will
the grandfather
not
of
touch.
hentai.
Yeah, not touching that. The only Gurren Lagann works I really enjoy involve giant robots.
Okay, so fun story about that. I remember being a kid. I remember watching Transor Z, and I remember my parents turning it off when that one villain who was half man, half woman came on screen, and I'm like, what?
What the fuck?
No, there was a villain in fucking Transor Z.
Yep.
Yeah, and there was a half man, half woman, and they're like, nope, you're not watching this. And I'm like, what? But this is a good show. No, you can't watch. And in retrospect, I kind of understand now, and I don't think it was turned off just because there was a robot that shot 2 breast missiles. Which, you know, was pretty weird.
Now, in fairness, Mazinger did have his breast fire attack, so at least it's equal.
It would fire 2 breast missiles, and then it would be completely worthless.
Wow.
You know, I'm wondering if there was... See, an analyst would probably come up with that meaning something else, I guess. But I'm under the influence of meds right now, so I'm not going to read anything into that.
I love it when people wax philosophical and read into something when the animators you ask them are like, oh, we just put that there because we thought it was cool.
Well, I mean, Go Nagai is a weird enough person where that might have been something.
That is true.
Yes.
Not going to deny that. That's just still around and kicking, believe it or not.
Yeah, I did like a lot of the stuff that freaking goddamn Go Nagai did, and yeah, the giant robot stuff is pretty good from him. There's one I'd be able to recommend, but I'd probably have to hunt it down, and now's not the time. As he tries to do it anyways, because he's a schmuck. My parents did wish Gundam. I think they means watch. Yeah, I watched Gundam. I wasn't a big fan. Remember in the day when you used to watch TV and you'd watch crap because, okay, this is right on before something good comes on, so I will force myself to watch it. And if you don't, sometimes you just miss fucking what the next thing is.
Yep.
Yes.
My old man tried watching
I've done that before.
Oh!
He tried... Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember recommending this to Digi once, and he was intrigued by this idea, and I was like, you know what would be cool? What would you do? Let's say you have to make a 2-hour block. What would you do that for? And he's like, oh, you mean like freaking like grab my preferred anime, like the both ends in the middle and stuff, and what would you, like, how would you, if you, like, pretend you were the network? And I think that it'd be neat to see if fucking people did shit like that. Like, make your own season lineup or some shit like that. Or if you were to make an anime channel, like, make it as long as you wanted to. With, like a 2018 or fucking a classic or whatever the hell. I don't know. There's a lot of things I think that the anime channels just kind of miss out on. But whatever. Or it's just the drugs talking.
My old man sat down and watched... He sat down and watched one episode of Gundam Wing, and was so mad by the end of it, he refused to watch any more of it.
I was huge into Gundam Wing. I even try to bring it up nowadays, and people don't even know like what it is.
Well, the thing is, because he's a military vet, and he was in Vietnam. This is all a bunch of stupid garbage. They don't know what they're talking about. These stupid kids don't know nothing.
Yeah. you gotta go back and watch freaking goddamn Robotech, Molly.
Well, when I get off my fat, lazy ass, I'll get to.
I think you mean Macross, sir. We don't talk about Robotech here.
Okay.
Burning Gundam. Yeah, actually, I go to a lot of anime conventions dressed as Master Asia from G Gundam to hold Gundam contests. It's actually pretty fun. And no, you're not getting any more grade A under A references, Lord Ben Maza. You get one, and one is all you will get.
Well, maybe from Leo. I don't know about the others.
Oh, that was another thing that was fucking better, I guess. Okay, fine, I'll admit it. 2017 is actually, I think Solar Flare we watched Gurren Lagann in the hotel, the movie, and we winded up watching, I think, like a good 3/4 of it. And that was like... There's certainly the critique. I remember one of the anime people came on my podcast, made the remark, the only thing I don't like about it is, I want to win. Okay, fine, you can win. And I kept noticing that, but I was like, it was corny, fun bullshit. But I like corny, fun bullshit, you know? I like schlocky horse shit. And, you know, Gurren Lagann had that in spades. I tried watching, it's from the same people that do Gurren Lagann, but it's about, like, you know, nudity and...
Kill la Kill.
Kill la Kill. And I was like, it's alright. And it's not because I'm a prude hentai otaku here. I was like, it's shit.
What you need, and what the rest of the chat needs, is the King of Braves, Gao Gaigar. That's what you need.
School Rumble. I think I tried checking that out just because I was like, oh, a school anime? It has Rumble, so it's going to be like half pro wrestling, half school? No. I was like, oh, dude, kids are going to be picking up chairs and hitting each other and doing slams? No, I was so disappointed.
Damn it.
Yeah.
No, what you're thinking of is Cromartie High.
Oh, that sounds fucking... Yeah.
Yeah, that does.
Cromartie High is actually really funny. It has Freddie Mercury as a cameo in it.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
They have weird cameos. Like, they've had the Colonel from KFC cameo in fucking goddamn animation.
Well, actually, believe it or not, there's a reason for that. The big tradition for the Japanese in Christmas is to eat KFC.
I'd go for KFC now, thanks.
I was about to say, I could go for some KFC.
I keep having people shove Food Wars at me. I probably ought to fucking try and do that next time.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're not
KFC.
Leo?
You're not going to like Food Wars.
I don't know. Don't they have, like, orgasms while they're eating the food or some shit like that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
If I haven't had fast food in a week, I might feel like that. If I go back, because I'd been behaving in my diet by the time I went back to BC, and it was all like, you know, like fucking bar food. I was like, oh, give me power.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, see, we called that a foodgasm.
Yeah.
A couple things here before I skedaddle.
Sure.
Firstly, Anthony, your bottom bar there is a little cluttered. I think you might need to clean that up a bit. And
yeah, I technically don't need the Gyauzo
GIF
one because I never...
Is there anything else? No. You don't.
Yeah, I never...
But any other questions, comments, insults, threats from anybody, whether it be in the call or in the comments, I'll give you 2 minutes.
No, you're good to go, freaking Leo. As usual, you've managed to carry my dead-ass stream to fucking any kind of level of resemblance. God bless.
Yeah, I can do it without the Skeletor voice this time. I think we're looking up in the world.
Oh, I did recommend. I recommend him on a regular basis just because he's pretty funny, but he gets old fast. When I gave you that Creationist Cat, he often routinely used to take the shit out of fucking skeptics, and they usually took it in good terms just because it's some guy doing a goofy voiceover for his cat, like doing. And he plays him like the cat's like the super creationist fucking nut job thing.
Yeah, I'm familiar with some of his work. Good lord.
Yeah, no, it's don't take it too seriously, but I've been able to laugh it off. So yeah, if you need to go, you're good to dip. We'll find something.
Yeah, I got stuff to do. Just remember what I said, Molly. Any questions? I'm always open. You can find me on Twitter. Let's see.
All right.
Lion,
that is if I can find your damn Twitter, because I tried doing that earlier today. I can't find it anywhere.
Lio Convoy 85. And Bomb Basket? Yes, I have seen it. I am very fond of Beast Wars II. You guys take it easy.
All right, no, take care, boss.
See ya.
So, Midnight, since we got you here, what are you working on next?
In terms of videos, I've got a collab on an episode review coming up, and then another kind of another train of thought video, which is coming up as well.
Is there, since I noticed sometimes you seem to kind of make like assumptions and stuff about like certain topics, is there anything that I might be able to, give you some insight on? Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, maybe he doesn't feel like asking in limbo. I was like, I could probably point you in the right direction if I don't know, because I usually know enough people who can cue you in if you're talking about anything kind of.
All right, well, thanks. I mean, that may be useful for a video in the future. With the ones I've got planning at the moment, they're not really talking about topics that's sort of specific to anyone in limbo or anything like that. So
I can't mention because I've been asked not to talk about the topic in question, but there's a certain gentleman with two letters in his name that works for KP who did a video. Why I can't talk
who
about
could that be?
Yeah, indeed.
I have no idea.
I managed to talk about it in a roundabout way because of, thank God for fucking Commando Solo. Because I managed to get in a lot of it through the back door, and I just omit a lot of fucking names where I mentioned this, that, and the other. Was there anything that you wish to talk about on that sensitive topic where I could be like, oh, god damn it, Midnight Chimes brought that up?
Finally, Midnight Chimes brought it up. For once, I didn't have to say anything.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, with a lot of the stuff, I don't know sort of what's going on generally. I'm not very good at... People call me drama pone, but I'm not very good at sort of keeping up with the drama sometimes. I mean, if you just want to enlighten me on anything, anytime, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't have plans to cover that at the moment, but maybe I will.
I do see it's for the most part. I probably want to leave that mostly alone because again, I went to BC. I got to meet what's his name? Wolf, whatever. Not Dr. Wolf. I did see him there though. Evil and Wolf, and I did run into ZD, and I did run into ZD's friend Cooler. And yeah, everybody got along. It was neat.
Yeah.
Even people from previous years where I had trouble. It was disgustingly well behaved. To the point of, I mean, somebody could try and start something just a little bit, maybe the magical amount, but
come on.
Yeah, just a little bit. Come on,
a bit of entertainment.
Yeah. Thank God I was hanging out with Creepy because at least there was somebody to talk shit back and forth with.
Yeah. You need to talk a bit of shit sometimes.
Oh God, yeah.
Everyone needs to talk about some shit at points in their life.
Well, yeah, look at the bright side, Molly. It was kind of fun. You don't have to feel too put out. Are you going for the last year?
Yes, I am. I was actually upset that I didn't get to go go this year, but because I'm actually attending another con that happened right around the same time, I figured I was gonna. By the time I get to the other con that I want to get to, I'm gonna be too broke to even get food.
No, I'm going to tip my hand on this when I do mention, and I do manage to get it in through the back window, again, using Commando Solo's video. Now, recently, I've done a podcast where it was me, fuck meds. It was me, Lightning Bliss, Golden Fox, Aeon Dreams, and that Creepy reading. Sorry, Creepy, for mentioning you last, but despite being the biggest one there, I extended my hand via ZD to go to KP, and I bring it up in the latest video, and I was like, look, I'm not entitled to KP or Rachel's time. I understand that. But even still, you could make a tweet, like a referencing the animator getting arrested, or a DA column, or a Tumblr post. What are they called? Vlogs? Blogs? What do you do on Tumblr? Blogs. Yeah, blog. Anything. Just get the information out there a little bit and try, when I do, and inevitably, I'm sure ZD will see it, and I'm like, look, it's just a nudge more than I'm really trying to pick a fight on that one. Yeah,
I hadn't even heard of that one until I got back from. Just got back from visiting my brother in Richmond, and I just recently heard about this whole entire thing. I'm just like, what?
For all the shit that I'll say it. You guys are free to just say it, but for all the shit I give Horse News, I wouldn't have known about that if it wasn't for their article. They did cite a legit source, as far as I can understand. It seemed like it was fucking straightforward. Again, I'm just off this. I had to be corrected twice when I was like 20,000, 40,000. No, it's 60,000 images of child pornography that was found on that one animator's hard drive with over 1,600 fucking videotapes, which, lol, who the hell has videotapes anymore? But those don't just materialize out of the air. Who knows? Maybe he was tape trading with like members of either this community or another one, and you never know what he managed to get out of like other fans or people that might be too scared or ashamed to come forward. And I think it should be encouraged that, hey, look, we're not going to make fun of you. I feel that we've been really cool. Yeah, has anyone made fun of any of the victims so far that anyone knows of?
What victims? Like from Tune to like Performance Major to anybody else?
I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. So yeah, there we go. That's been the big high point of the community, that no one's really dug into like the victims. I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Honestly, no. I don't think anybody has, from what I've noticed on Twitter and from like some bits of Facebook and some bits of from like the deep archives of Tumblr. I don't think anybody has like made fun of the victims for what they've done. I know that there have been a couple of occasions where the victims have gotten asked like, why didn't you speak up about this beforehand? Yeah. Like, you do realize that you should have known about this whole entire thing. You should have seen this coming. But in all honesty, I don't think I've seen anybody attack. Oh no, there have been a few trolls that have attacked like the victims and tried to say like, oh, the entire community is like at fault for the whole entire thing. I'm not
asking people to hold the community accountable for some random anonymous people or whatever. And of course, the phone's ringing. But Jesus, I just lost my train of thought again. Yeah, I've been really.
That's my line.
# blame meds.
Blame meds. Stop ringing. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's a ton of things that are really worth talking about. My brain just isn't clicking right now, and I'm going to be mad the minute I stop. I'm like, shit, I had something to say. Now
It's too late now.
What memory I'm referencing is the time where we had Pete on for a podcast, and they ended up saying the remark, and I'm totally not stalling for time. And it went on for like a good 5 to 10. You know what's weird about that? I feel a lot more comfortable going they them for Pete because I feel like it's a healthy middle ground. I am covering Patchwork Heart in the next video, and I hope I do a fair enough job, because Patch ended up looking at the you know what maps are, right? Not the guy we have in our community.
No, not map. No.
Yeah. Minor attracted persons.
I think so. I'm not quite familiar with the term.
Basically people attracted to minors. It's either a Tumblr or Twitter fucking handle. And let's try, and since I'm going to be tackling in a video, I'm going to try and go as gentle right now with Patch on it. I could understand where someone goes and says, "Oh, it's a liberal agenda to be pro pedophilia," and that's a pretty big brush. And I'm liberal, and I'm sure as fuck not that. I could see the frustration. I could also see the frustration of being LGBT and then hearing a P on there, and really having all your patience drained out of you. There's enough troubles in the world without having them unfairly attached to you. But at the same time, just making the blanket statement, "Oh, I'm pretty sure it's just a 4chan psyop. It's a troll." And I'm like, I've looked at some pretty screwed up Twitter accounts. I remember being in call with people like, I know Pause isn't really around in our group anymore. She would have been able to back that up. Steppius would have been able to back that up. I know I'm not really in touch with Chaos Armada, or I'm barely in touch with Chambers of My Heart, but there's some things with those tags that are like, that look legit. And I kind of end off the video, I'm like, look, Patch, if you wind up being right, you take a massive weight off my shoulders, because all it felt like is that we were chasing people that, even if you could get the account banned on Twitter, they just make a new one. They're not anybody, but they're people who are potentially putting children in harm, and it's concerning to say.
It is.
I don't, I'm like, oh, you can't pay it any mind. I'm like, but you kind of have to. I understand why you wouldn't want to. I don't know. I hope I don't fuck that up.
I mean, that's like, I mean, I was watching like the recent like part 1 of the stream you did with Peter Fox and Lightning Bliss of like kids like inadvertently or
giving out too much information. Yeah.
Yeah, like giving too much information, and I'm just like, yeah, it's not just like adults that need to be careful with that. Kids especially need to be careful with that too.
Well, I don't know. There's times where you could look at somebody and going, oh, there's warning signs, but there's a lot of times where you're with a friend or some shit like that, and you're like, oh, they're just being an idiot. And oddly enough, it hurts to say that. It really hurts to say, because I'm pausing myself from finishing the sentence. There were a lot more warning signs about Dark Age than there were Toon, but you were like, oh no, Dark Age is cool. It's just he's eccentric. You know, that's his shtick. He's done weird, creepy.
I didn't know about half of the shit with Dark Age. I just assumed that like people just disassociated with him because he's an asshole.
No, like he certainly was. But he was our asshole. He's certainly like he didn't mind kind of being kind of a dick, but it was the magical amount I felt in my group, and a lot of us, because he was funny. I remember the way I worded it with Kichi. She's like, yeah, if you had a group of friends, he'd be a really good 5th or 6th man, and I'm like, yeah, he would. I won't give the person's name. They're like, yeah, if they knock that shit off. It's like, hey, look, if I could wave a magic wand and make all that shit disappear, including all the actions that misinconvenienced people. Not misinconvenienced. Meds that winded up fucking all screwing around with the kids. I wish none of that shit ever happened with them.
Yeah. The thing is, there's a lot of assholes out there. But they're not all paedophiles, you know. So
yeah,
it's very easy to say things with retrospect.
Yeah.
I did notice his channel recently went down. I do kind of wonder what happened. Oddly enough, I backed up like his weird Christmas special because I was promised myself I'd watch it, and I'm like, it's so fucking retarded that now of all times, I'm gonna go do that. God, I feel really bad about referencing, because I know he had Ty, A and Y, and Pasta on there, who I actually just managed to cool things over. I think I ran into past analysis at BC, and you know I'm not going to say anything bad or anything like that because I don't want him to reblock me again. That took a whole goddamn year. But yeah.
What, who? A and Y or?
No. Pasta, for whatever reason.
Pasta.
He mentioned, he's like, oh yeah,
I haven't talked to Pasta in years.
Oh yeah, no, I used to love fucking butting heads with Pasta for the longest time, and I remember going, and he used to tell me, he's like, I feel like you're only ratting your friends out so you'll keep talking to me. I'm like, hey, that means you're a big deal, you fuck. You should take that as a massive fucking compliment. Yeah, I do understand on some level where Patchwork Heart is like, I wanted to be in there so bad. I was like, wheel and deal, I did. Do you know how many people I had to step over? Do you know how many good friends I had to get to that magical fucking goddamn scene where I kind of felt like where I started running into people who were like, hey, you're kind of that big deal, and I'm like, yeah, that is a neat thing, but there's also all that extra baggage, you know, because of Toon and all this other stupid shit, so I can't... It dirties the hell out of an otherwise beautiful fucking narrative. How much do you think of, with BC's numbers dwindling, do you think it's the show wrapping up, or, you know, the bad publicity?
I've looked at this, actually, when they announced that, like BC was ending and they mentioned the numbers, I think some part of what happened during the year with like the recent scandals of what happened with Toon Performance Major, Dark Edge, Dusky Novel. I think some of those may have been like contributing factors, like they could have been like little instances, little inklings to cause the fandom, but I think the majority of it is just, if you think, I'm speaking about this from like a business or from like a financial perspective, and I don't have a finance major. You'd have to ask my younger brother for more on that if you needed to. But from like a finance perspective, booking the convention center is really expensive. You'd have to have like a lot of like the finances to make sure you have room for all the vendors,
It went down somewhere, I think, either between 600 and 1,000 attendees. And oddly enough, I hate to give him credit, but for what it was, the petition, the numbers, I won't say every last one, obviously, but they wouldn't have been unrealistic to at least take credit for half of those.
Yeah, I kind of agree that, like, the petition that they tried to, that Vita tried to make
look, again, as usual, I don't wash my hands, it was my idea. I walked it back later on because I saw that the apology video, and I was like, okay, that's good enough for me, that's all I wanted to hear, and it was sincere, and, you know, I also heard Creepy behind the scenes, he's like, I had to kind of Jesus that out. I had to cut out a lot of the religion from that, so it wouldn't, you know, disassociate with people, and that was the original apology video, which, again, I got into trouble with because I wound up giving like a 30-second watch, and I was like, oh yeah, this checks all the box and whistles, and I think it was Vita and Leo like, no, go back, go back, that's not okay.
It's like, this is really good, I have a new respect. Did you hear he forgave him at the end? What?
Yeah. I had a lot of videos to go through and watch. I just had to keep track, and some of them were better than others, and Midnight, yeah, yours is the one that has that beautiful, it does hit me every time, time and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Look the Other Way. There is an audio I'll have to show you later that kind of speaks to that I finally got to get to something after 3 or 4 months that had been bearing down on me. Sorry, I didn't want to be a downer just now.
But yeah, I think part of the financial reasons in the attendees like failing, I think that may be one of the big major factors for why they're wanting to end it next year. I think another reason is because like Gen 4 is ending around 2019. They want to wrap up the season with like what they classify as like a big bang.
Yeah,
I think
I did start to think that, like, hey, you know, it'll probably spike back up and they'll get tempted back, and I'm like, but shouldn't, because if it goes back to what it was this year, I'm like, it wouldn't be worth it though.
Yeah,
because there's just, you didn't have your crown princes, you didn't have like who's that guy that Anthony C hangs out with from Australia? Who's an animator? Not too canon DM, even though he would have been good. Yeah, Vivi Reverie, Viva Amatoon Link.
Yeah, Viva I'm a Toon Link. I love him.
He did work on the Doors series, which was really solid. I appreciated the shit out of Magpie and Lost Narrator. They were, and I'm not just saying that to suck up, but I did enjoy their panels. It just so happens. Yeah. It just so happens, by happenstance, believe it or not, that fucking, you know, the biggest people I knew did do the best goddamn work. There were times where basically, I don't know. It seemed like a lot of the get-togethers. Maybe that was, I remember mentioning that to Kichi, and she's like, no, it's not that at all. And I was like, oh, hey, look, if a lot of the get-togethers were Team Fortress 2 or whatever, the Anarchy thing.
Yeah, it was like most of the get-togethers were like...
She's like, no, it was... The
others were like TF2.
She said that most of it was loosey-goosey and nobody really made major plans. There was a couple of things, and one of the things that threw me off is that Sunday, and this, according to Kichi, was just happenstance, I saw a bunch of them getting together, and there was that picture by Brawny, which reminded me of 2017, where literally everybody and their mom is in the picture. And she's like, no, that literally only happened because Pancake Sorcerer asked. And I was like, oh, because I remember like walking by, I'm like, oh, I'm just a faggot over here. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just go hang out with Creepy, it's fine. I didn't want to be in your shit picture anyways. The butt hurt levels were so astronomically. I'm like, fuck this place.
I know.
But yeah, and when I just found out it was just them hooking up Pancake. Hey, Pancake is a fucking solid straight shooter. Love the OC, cool person. She walked around with the plushie with her everywhere she went. Sorry, no, didn't mean to do that one.
She.
I remember that was such a weird, funny thing that I'm like, look, just the fact that we all sat around watching DuckTales assing off, and even it didn't matter that basically all those assholes ate the pizza before me, editor, and Crimson Glow came back with the soda.
Yeah.
It was still fun, and I still loved it. There was just a lot less heartfelt things. I remember Ty and Daga said something really freaking like touching, and I tried not to tear up. And there was Emerald Comet next to me, who I never got to see. I did turn to Anthony C, and I was like, "Oh, you should collab with this guy. He does like fan fiction readings." And he's like, "Oh, the only one I could really recommend is what's that long as hell Bible-sized fan fiction that Fallout." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you should probably look." And he's like, "I don't have time for that." I really ought to get back to watching Emerald Comet shit, because I noticed he put out a couple goddamn more. And
yeah, he did. Emerald Comet's a really cool dude. The first time I met him was I was doing a Yu-Gi-Oh live stream with him like a really long time ago. That was where I got interested, and that was where like I started watching his stuff. And then I watched the collab he did with Lightning Bliss, where he turned into a tennis ball, and I'm just like, okay, I find you entertaining and amazing. I'm gonna watch your shit now.
There was.
Do you remember Point and Steel reviews?
Yes. The two robots.
Yes.
I jumped on their bandwagon immediately, and I was like, I can't wish to and they did like 2 or 3, and I was so bummed out. And I'm like, no.
But now one half of them has come back as Steelhorn's making videos.
So they ditched the Gray Silvermane assets? Why? Yeah, those were all great. Get someone else to shoehorn in for the... I'd pay to be that other guy. Are you kidding me? I would be your retarded yes man to be in that skit.
Oh my god.
I had so much... I remember, Analysis Daily was going. I had so much hope for the brand new tiers to know that those guys are back. Could you throw me a link?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same as the old channel. I'll go and try and grab it. It's the same channel, but they've just changed the name of it to, I think, Steelhorn Reviews or something now.
Right, I'll take a look, see if I could find it. Steelhorn Reviews. Oh, before I go, I mentioned this earlier in the stream for Salmonella. It's another takeoff of Grade A Under A.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It's a historical version. Jesus. I'll just pause and steal the name this way. And now it doesn't want to... Fuck you, YouTube. Fine.
YouTube dude sucks.
That's true, but that's not quite what I meant. Sam. There we go. Okay, so you said Steelhorn Reviews. Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, I've found it now. It's just Steelhorn. There's no reviews in it. I'll see if I can just chuck that link over.
Yeah, I'm not getting any luck. The cheat that I know Kichi always told me is just add MLP or Brony. That usually gets the rest of it. That's how.
Yeah, MLP normally works. Let's see, where are we?
I wish Event Horizon would have stayed fucking motivated.
Yeah.
That's the best thing that fucking goddamn Theory Brony, not Theory Brony, what's his damn name? The guy with the 100,000 subs. You know what? I think it's like Theory Brony. Used to be friends with him. Brony Notion used to fucking.
Yeah, I was about to say the Brony Notion.
Yeah, the Brony Notion used to hang out with him, and I was like, I'm glad that somebody's there to help fucking goddamn Event get over. I don't care how much of a dick he is. He's fun. Okay, Steelhorn. God be willing. Something to come back to.
I was just like, what? This channel is active again? I never thought that would happen.
Well,
in my first comment, I was just like, whoa, you're back.
God damn, this is a pretty quick fucking rapid upload.
Oh, what, the stream?
Yeah, point steal.
Oh yeah, I
So,
forgot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. None of them look like shit posts. So yeah, fucking baller. Let's take a look at the comments and see if anybody's saying any damn thing. Buh. Kristen Morales. Buh. What was the other reason why fighters in our lives? I don't quite get it. Sure, whatever. Any other fandoms you're part of, Midnight?
There's no fandoms I'm sort of really deeply involved in, but I do watch Doctor Who. That's probably it, really.
Oh, tell you what, I'll give
giving it shit because they gave like one bit of the trailer for the new series, and everybody's hating on it just because they don't like the fact that the Doctor is now female.
I'll give you a sneak peek, since everybody else in the thing here is going to be able to see it. Or did I download it? You know what? I'll do the black and white.
Oh boy.
There you go, Midnight. What do you think of that? That's a patchwork heart, and that's a more Miyazaki version of Vita. But I looked at it, and it's like it kind of looks like Doctor Who, a little bit.
Oh my god.
That's a special shout out to Lilac Galaxy.
Love you, Lilac.
Yeah. Let's see if I can hunt down her DA really quick, so we could give her a plug, since I know she wants to save up and earn her way to BC, and I think that'll always go really good. I thought it was interesting. There was like people like there's already been like shit outside the Rift where the modding staff is like, are we ruling on these? And I was like, that was just a random idea. And I was like, plus I'm at BronyCon. This is the one convention I go to a year to any level of seriousness. Yeah, if you want to do it, knock yourself out. But I'm not going to stick my neck out there and get wrecked right now. See if I could even find Lilac's crap. You know what?
Onyx the Dragon said, whatever happened to Analysis Daily? I would imagine there's just maybe not enough material out there now to fill Analysis Daily.
I don't really think that there is.
I don't think there is either, considering that from what I've noticed since like this whole shitstorm just kind of like fell in, a lot of people from what I've heard have either taken like long hiatuses or they've actually left.
There were a lot of people leaving before then, but I do like to say that one of the last times that we started to have that season's refresh that I thought was significant was about the same time I picked up Kichi and Ninja. Whoever the hell else came along at that time. I'm probably pissing off a lot of people, but I'm mentioning them. But yeah, there would be waves of people that came in. I remember when the golden age.
Yeah, there was still a lot of people coming in those days. Like I do get nostalgic about that sometimes.
Yeah, like when Caps Locks, Comic Sans, Herd of Bronies, Ty and Dig all showed up about the same damn time, and I'm sure that there was other damn people, which, by the way, shout out.
Yeah.
I saw Comic Sans at BC.
I mean, is there like...
Comic Sans is an okay dude. He wasn't the best roommate that I had at BC, but he's an okay dude.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You were saying Midnight?
I mean, as far as analysis people goes, I can't really think. I mean, is there anyone who's kind of made it relatively big, like say a Ty and Dagger or something like that recently? That's happened.
I don't think so.
Stretching it would be DWK.
I mean, it's still the same old people, really, isn't it? But...
Yeah, I think it's still the same people. I don't think I've seen anybody new like come up, like that came around the same time as Caps Lock or Ty and Daga. I don't think I've seen anybody new step up.
Yeah, I mean, Ty and Daga was sort of the last one I remember, sort of when he was fresh and he was still kind of just starting and getting really big.
Yeah, and now look at him.
Well, no, like you said, if Ty and Daga does intermediate review and analysis in there, sprinkled in. So yeah, I'd say he's the last one if you want to be like that.
Yeah.
And I don't mean this as a knock, because I do think of Ty as more of it's art featured analysis. Because let's be honest, you're there because it's beautiful. And I say that.
To be fair, yeah.
Oh no, and it is really, really good. I prefer to.
Yeah, his art and his editing are just like amazing.
I mean, it's all about different aesthetics, really. I mean, I like stuff that is. I of course enjoy analysis quite a lot and things that will kind of stimulate the mind. And I think a lot of Tie and Dagger stuff is very kind of surface level, but at the same time I look at him and it's like, no, what you do is really good. That's good quality videos you're making there. I can't really fault that.
When I saw his video about drama, I'm like, this all sort of works, but there are times where you just can't simply avoid it. Like, No.
I mean, when you're talking about a topic like drama, I mean, drama has a lot of complications and nuance to it, and a lot of people sort of leave out the nuances of it, and I think especially that kind of whole attitude of drama's bad. I heard someone say something recently that was talking to that was kind of like, if you're going to get involved in drama, it should only ever be to end the drama. And like a statement like that, that's a good sort of sentiment. I like that sentiment, but I think sometimes it can be a bit more complicated than that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll be the first to admit I probably get myself into more shit than I should. So no, I say that Ty had certainly had a point.
Yes.
Yeah. And certainly, I mean, anyone who emphasizes communication so much, I think I said in a comment somewhere recently, so much, all of these dramas that happen in the MLP fandom, so many of them, poor communication tends to be somewhere at the heart of the problem. As soon as people start talking to each other, then we're usually much closer to resolving things. And so much is just kind of a lot of it is built on misunderstandings and stuff like that. It's, I mean, kind of like what Lio Convoy was saying earlier. If you have a problem with someone, probably one of the first things you should do is, go and talk to them about it.
That was the advice that I remember Lethal Aurora Mage kept telling Map after they got done screaming at him as King of Limbo.
Yeah.
Oh, if you tried chalking to such and such, and he's like, oh, and he was really trying to avoid it. I'm like, it is after you've shit talked somebody and dogged the god ever loving hell out of them, it is kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, no, I want to talk now. If you're self-aware,
yeah,
yeah, that's what I feel like is a huge message. Like, but I think with everything that's happened I think just talking out like any miscommunications or whatever is probably like better than coming up with like your own conclusions to something, because then it's just going to delve into more chaos and more of a mess that is not going to be really helpful, and quite frankly it's just not going to be as fun.
No, and it's very easy to jump
unless you want to be one of those people that watches the world burn.
We all have those weeks.
I have those every day.
Oh, fantastic.
That's every minute of my life.
Not you, Molly. I thought you were a cinnamon roll.
In fact, I just thought of it just now.
God. I just realized I did the accent slip. I winded up putting freaking goddamn creepy on the floor because when I was ordering the pizza, we winded up getting an extra heavily Indian gentleman on the other line, and I just wound up like doing his accent back at him because I was tired, and then Creepy started laughing, so I fucked up. He was just cancel the order. There's no way they're not going to fuck with it now.
Wow.
Yeah, classy to the last. Well, I think as much as I'm enjoying this, which I'm really not trying to blow anybody off, I've had a wonderful fucking time just BSing because, it's been kind of a dead week. And, it's a good chance to blow off doing work. But, yeah, I think we've stretched it as far as we can, gentlemen, ladies.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I will kill the stream.